Hey, boys and girls, happy Tuesday. I hope everybody's doing okay, and I hope everyone got their iReady time that they were supposed to have gotten. All right, let's just go ahead and jump right in with what we are going to do today. So, today we are starting a new standard. And the standard that we're starting is going to be 3RI.8. Describe how the author connects ideas between sentences and paragraphs to support specific points in a text. And I'm going to give an example of that later. All right, let me move this. Let's move this up. There's a new toolbar that I get to use, and I'm excited. All right, so we have a new essential question. And our new essential question is, what logical connection, given a comparison, cause and effect, or sequence, exists between sentences or paragraphs in a text? Because we know that everything that we read connects in some kind of way. If you're writing a paragraph, you want all of your sentences to connect because you don't want to be reading about a penguin in one sentence and a giraffe in the next sentence, unless you're going to compare those two animals. So today what we're going to do is we're going to watch a BrainPop video on cause and effect. We've already seen this before, so today is going to be kind of like a review of cause and effect, but then I'm going to introduce that next part of this standard. So we're going to watch a BrainPop video on cause and effect. We're going to look at a new text structure. We're going to look at a new text structure's anchor chart to learn what text structures are and the parts of it. We're going to talk about what cause and effect are again, and then we're going to do a couple of cause and effect task cards. And then what you're going to do is you are going to be reading a passage about avalanches and completing a graphic organizer. I'm going to read that passage for you on here. So that way, if you're having trouble reading it, all you have to do is listen to this video and I will be able to read it for you. So let's start with this BrainPop video. I'm going to move myself off the screen so that we can see the entire screen.
I'm having a bad day. When I was walking to school, it started to rain, so I got soaking wet. I forgot my recorder at home, so I couldn't play in music class. In the cafeteria, my shoelaces got untied. I tripped and fell, and I spilled my lunch all over my shirt. What is cause and effect? A cause is why an event happens. The effect is the event that happens because of the cause. When I walked in the rain, I got wet. The cause is walking in the rain, and the effect is getting wet. I couldn't play in music class because I forgot my recorder. The cause is forgetting my recorder, and the effect is that I couldn't play in music class. Sometimes one event can cause a chain of events to happen. My shoelaces were untied, so I tripped and fell, which caused me to spill my lunch. One event can cause one event after another. Sometimes there are many causes to one event. Yesterday, Mia was late to school because she overslept. Then, she couldn't find her backpack, so she missed the bus. The effect was that Mia was late to school, but a few things caused Mia to be late to school. I guess everyone has bad days. How do you find causes and effects as you read? When you read, think about what happens and try to connect events and facts together. Look for special words that give clues about causes and effects. If, then, so that, since, because, due to, and As a result, all give clues about causes and effects. Sometimes the author describes the effects before the causes, so it's a good idea to take notes as you read. Cool! This book is about hippopotamuses. Hippos live in areas of Africa that can get really hot. As a result, they spend a lot of time cooling off in rivers and lakes. Hippos can see and breathe while they're mostly underwater because their eyes, ears, and nose are high on their heads. Due to their large size, hippos can walk along the bottom of some rivers. To protect themselves from sunburn, hippos give off a red, oily sunscreen that covers their skin. That's why their skin looks pink sometimes. You can ask yourself questions to figure out causes and effects. What is one effect of the hippo's large size? They can walk on the bottom of rivers and lakes. What causes hippos to look pink? They give off a red, oily sunscreen that covers their skin. There are many causes of my bad day, and the effect is that I'm in a bad mood. I just want this day to be over. Let's go home, Moby.
Oh no. All right, so let me get this camera back on. I cannot find myself, but that's okay. I will find myself in just a second. All right, that's okay. You know what? We can keep going. So, you can't see me from here on out, but that's okay. So, with text structures, this is what we're starting today. A text structure is how your text is set up. So, a structure can be cause and effect, an article that explains how one thing happens due to another. We just did an entire thing on cause and effect, so we should be okay with that. With compare and contrast, remember that comparing and contrasting is telling how two things are alike or different. An article that tells how two things are similar or different. And then we talked about sequence last week as well. Sequence is an article that puts events in chronological order or the steps to a process in order. So remember back to when we had you guys write a technical text, which was steps in a process. You guys wrote us a text on how to create a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I just found, there I am. All right. So, looking back at cause and effect, think of the saying if then. If one thing occurs, then another thing would happen. Some clue words that show you that cause and effect are taking place are because, so, since, and as a result. I like to use some of my students, for example. So I would say, Jacob, since you know the answer, you are going to come to the board and you are going to answer the question on the board. So the cause of Jacob being able to, the effect of Jacob being able to come to the board is that he knows the answer. And the effect of Jacob knowing the answer is that he gets to come to the board. So what is the cause and effect shown for this picture? So it looks like temperatures are rising. So if temperatures rise, then the ground will be dry. All right, what we're going to do is I'm going to pull my next screen over, and we are just going to go through a couple of task cards. So this picture, Siri, this picture here, it says, what is the cause and effect? So first we need to look at what's happening in the picture. So in the picture, it looks like a tree fell. So the effect is that a tree fell. What could have caused the tree fall, or why did the tree fall is something that we could ask ourselves. So the tree fell And looking back, the tree fell because maybe the wind blew it over or there was a storm. And what was the effect of the storm? The tree fell. So what was the cause of, let's look at what's happened in this picture. What was the cause and the effect? Let's look at this picture. It looks like someone spilled coffee all over their work. What could have been the cause of spilling the coffee all over the work? Well, someone could have come in and scared them, or they could have tripped and fell and spilled the coffee everywhere. But what was the effect of someone coming in and scaring them, or tripping and falling? The effect was that they spilled their coffee everywhere. Let's do a couple of more. What's the cause and effect of this picture? So there's a rainbow. What causes rainbows? Well, if you're not sure, excuse me, if you're not sure what causes rainbows, it could be a mixture of some things over the water. It's how the sun hits the water. It hits the water molecules in the sky, and you see a rainbow. So what is the effect of the sun hitting the water molecules a specific way in the sky? The effect is that you get a rainbow. Now let's look at this. If you wear glasses, you know that this is something that you do not want to happen. Your glasses are broken. So what could be the cause of these glasses being broken? Maybe someone stepped on them. Maybe a car ran over them. Maybe your dog took them and ran down the street with them and broke them. But what could be the effect of your car running over your glasses? The effect is that they would break. Let's do this last one. So the cause, let's look at this picture. This kid has ice cream all over his face. What could be the cause of him having ice cream all over his face? Well, if you've ever seen babies eat ice cream, they like to just, lick it everywhere and they rub it all over their face. And what was the effect of the baby doing that? The effect of the baby rubbing the ice cream all over his face is that now he has like a chocolate mustache, an ice cream mustache. Excuse me. All right. So the next thing that I'm going to do for today is, if we go back to this, I am going to be reading this passage about avalanches. And then you're going to complete a graphic organizer. Now, it's very important that you pay attention to this video because the graphic organizer that you're going to be working on, I give a lot of the answers in this video. So let's read avalanches. Let me cut this. Awesome. All right, avalanches. An avalanche is a massive amount of snow moving quickly down a slope. An avalanche can be caused by a few different things. A spontaneous avalanche is the result of too much weight caused by increased precipitation in one area. Since the buildup of snow cannot hold any more weight, it will collapse and result in an avalanche thundering down a hillside or mountain. So my reader brain is already telling me that there's a cause and effect. The effect is an avalanche. And what causes an avalanche? Well, we just read here that there are a few different things that can cause an avalanche. An avalanche is caused by a few different things. It can be, I'm going to highlight them in green or underline them in green. It can be caused by a spontaneous, it can be, let me erase that. Sorry, there's new tools here, so I'm learning how to use them. It can be caused by too much weight, and that can be caused by precipitation in one area. And then, since the buildup of snow can't hold any more weight, it collapses and results in an avalanche thundering down a hillside or mountain. I hear a lot of the cause and effect vocabulary there. So some of the cause and effect vocabulary that I hear is result. I hear caused. I hear since. I hear results in. I believe that's it. In just those few sentences, we have a few different causes and a few different for one effect. So it says they may also be caused by melting snow. An avalanche can come from the skiers, snowmobile, An avalanche can come from skiers, snowmobilers, animals, or explosives. Avalanches tumble down mountains at very high rates of speed and contain tons and tons of snow. Due to this, they are very destructive. They will knock over and crush trees, throw rocks great distances, and can cause great harm to people and animals. Due to the high potential destruction of the avalanches, they are extremely dangerous. If there is a high chance of an avalanche occurring, then people nearby need to avoid the potential affected area, or they might need to evacuate. So, how I said in the beginning of this video is that whatever we read connects to, turn my camera back on, connects to the other sentences in the story. So let's look at one connection. I'm going to do the connections in yellow. So this sentence here says, oh, yellow is very hard to see. I forget that. This sentence here says that an avalanche can be caused by a few different things. The next sentences go to describe how the avalanche, it goes to tell you all of the things that can cause an avalanche. The sentences connect because that sentence gives you an idea. It gives you an idea that avalanches can be caused by a few different things. But then the next sentences go to explain the few different things that an avalanche can be caused by. And this is very important that you know this because in your assignment today, let me turn this pen off. How do I do it? All right. In your assignment today, you have to fill out a graphic organizer. So it says, please click the gray box below to access today's assignment. Review the anchor chart on slide 1. Read the passage on slide 2. I just read the passage. It's avalanches. Find one effect of an avalanche. Find the cause of people needing to evacuate. That last sentence there. List some keywords that show cause and effect. You can figure those out from rewatching the Brain Pop video in this video. And then you're going to give an example of how there's a connection in the text. I just gave you that example. I gave you one. You have to find a different one. All right, let's look at this. So you'll read this text structure's anchor chart. You're going to read avalanches, and then you're going to find an effect of an avalanche. What is one effect of an avalanche? So what happens because of an avalanche? All right. Then you're going to find the cause. People need to evacuate the affected area or avoid. Let's change that to avoid because that's exactly the sentence that the text says. So it says people need to avoid the affected area. What is one cause of people needing to avoid the affected area? This here says what cause and effect keywords are used. I went through and just circled a few of them. Find some other ones that you might be able to find. And then it says explain the connection within the text, the connections. I just gave you one here explaining that this sentence here is connected to the 3 sentences after it because this sentence gives you an idea and the sentences after it explain that idea. Now, I will give you this sentence here. It says avalanches tumble down mountains at very high rates of speed and contain tons and tons of snow. I want you to find the connection based off of that sentence there. What do the sentences after explain about the avalanche tumbling down the mountains and hillsides? All right, after you're finished with everything, you're just going to hit submit and your teacher will be able to give you some feedback. All right, boys and girls, have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.